This is a Live Eco Style production. Welcome to another edition of Live Eco Style, America's authority on eco-minded lifestyle and travel. I'm Randy Weckerly, host and travel correspondent, along with Jean Latham, America's #1 go-to confidant in eco-minded travel, dining, spas, tourism, and all-around living the experiential life. Well, Jean,
Yes,
we're back.
We are back. Excited to be back. This is an exciting series.
I can't wait. I can't wait to dig into this because this is the first of our World Tour series.
World Tour. We are going to...
I don't know.
You don't know.
No, I can tell you where we're at, though. We're coming from the 48th floor, high atop the lonely building sitting in Northern Illinois. Easy to find. People can go downstairs and get passes and come up and see us anytime, but they also can find us on...
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook,
and Twitter.
I
love Twitter.
You love Twitter. You do love Twitter.
You can talk to anybody
so
on Twitter.
Weird.
Why?
I don't know.
I just learned how to twit my tweets. I don't know what that means.
Hey, so let's talk a little bit about where are we going in Africa?
Well, I think we're going to the bedrock home of where mankind was created.
Yes.
The Kalahari.
Kalahari. It's in Botswana. We're going to Botswana. We're going to Zimbabwe. We are going to go to Namibia, Rwanda, South Africa.
Here's our travel music.
And
mysterious. The land of Africa, where man was born some 50 to 100,000 years ago. I don't think that's 50 years ago. I think that's
it's a very long time
50,000 years ago. Yeah. And where man evolved from apes and animals and chimps and monkeys, and I still got a few in my family.
Do you know what else is interesting? Supposedly, in the Kalahari, which is in the country of Botswana, they have an area that is considered what they believe is where the Garden of Eden was.
Well, that would be all tied together.
Yeah, there's two mountains. There are 3 mountains there. There's one that they reference a man, one reference a woman, and one reference a child.
Wow. That can't wait to go to the Kalahari. The thing that I want to do down in South Africa, maybe we'll talk about later, is that Rovos rail trip.
Oh,
that is going to be exciting. Our listeners should pay attention when we cover that.
That's a really big. These train trips have become these vintage train trips have become a really big thing all around the world.
I know it. Well, we're going to be taking our listeners on them. That one, I've been talking to my friend down there for the past 6 to 8 months.
He would like us to come.
Well, I would like us to come.
I would like us to come, too.
6-star dining, 6-star lodging on a train trip that begins at Cape Town or Johannesburg and goes through. You can play golf or you can go see the Kalahari.
Oh, there's a lot of things to do, too.
Yeah.
There's wine country down there. And, it's pretty incredible.
That is going to be exciting.
Wildlife.
And, by the way, our listener trips, anybody that wants to sign up for those, they can go to Live Eco Style. And they can take a look at the trips that we're forming right now. Mm-hmm. And those are exciting. And
exciting.
They should
I
do that.
think we have getting probably about a half a dozen on the boards right now for the next year. Soon to have probably another 8, 10, 12 of them.
Lake Tahoe in
June next year.
Maui and Kauai.
2018, beginning of it, right?
February.
Yep.
February of 2018.
Costa Rica. We're going to be doing Peru this next year.
Yep.
We're going to be down in the southeast doing Savannah.
Right.
Some of the Golden Isles. We're going down to Key West, I believe.
Right. Yeah. Going to the PGA Merchandise Show with our friends from the Where to Play Golf Show, Michael and Tim, and going to take listeners that have never been to the PGA Merchandise Show. We're going to host them for 1 day. We're going to play golf for 3 days. We're going to have good food, and there's going to be a surprise announcement later in the show.
Awesome. So let's talk about Africa.
All righty. I can't wait. Yeah.
So did you know there's 54 countries in Africa?
I do know.
And there is over 1 billion people that live there.
That is amazing.
And it's a huge, obviously it's a huge continent. Yeah. It's also home of Victoria Falls.
Right.
And it's actually, Victoria Falls is one of the largest and widest waterfalls in the world.
Right.
Not the largest and widest, but it's pretty significant.
Right.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. It actually borders between Zambia and Zimbabwe.
Wow.
So that's a pretty iconic site.
We'll be right back. Randy and Jean, stay tuned. We got a lot of things going on in this show. Africa. coming back. I wonder if people want to know what we do during that 30 little seconds there. We haven't exhausted ourselves at that point in time, have we?
No.
5 minutes.
I'm good.
Just so people know that these shows being recorded are also going to be going to radio worldwide. There are stations that are looking to pick us up in a syndication, and so we give the stations those little moments of time to do the commercials.
These are exciting times.
They are. They are. And again, special announcement coming late in the show. Huge worldwide.
Huge.
Seriously. Go ahead. Africa, Jean. Where are we going? How do we start this trip?
You know, we're going to actually start in, and this sounds kind of crazy, I know, but we're going to start in Lisbon, Portugal, which is, it's not obviously in Africa, but it is just on the border north of the country. Mm-hmm. And it's where a lot of people fly in when they come in to do trips in Africa. And I just found that fascinating. I did not know a lot about Portugal, have never been there before. Mm-hmm. Lisbon, Portugal is the capital of Portugal.
It is.
Yeah, beautiful city. It's full of culture and just they have this music. It's called fado music.
Really?
But it's very, very, very sexy. Very
really?
Latin-y. Yes, feeling to it. Best time to go there, June through August, is the high season. If you don't like crowds, don't go then. But that's usually when it's a big European destination.
No.
A lot of people, traveling obviously with families and kids out of school.
Yeah, it's foodie heaven.
It is foodie heaven. Ooh. Yeah, food is pretty.
Not that that's not important to us, but
food is very important. That's
I can
why
hear
people
Africa
travel.
From here. I can hear Africa from here.
All right, well let's head.
No. We're going to spend a little more time in Lisbon. Let's unfold this. This sounds good. This is European, so people that travel with us will be in Lisbon for a bit. My understanding is they had an earthquake there.
They did.
Yeah, and that was back in 1755. Big deal. Changed things up quite a bit, and they recovered from that. They have scenic views. I don't think. Can you see Africa from there? You got to take a plane. I don't know
that's a good question. I'm going to say no. That you can't.
Well, I don't think we can. I
don't know.
I can't wait. Lisbon, I think, is a very obviously European type town. I mean, I've always wanted to go there.
It is. Some of the great neighborhoods. There's a lot of we always look for those off the beaten path kind of places. So Gracia and Alfama are two of pretty typical neighborhoods that you can just kind of wander around in. Just a lot of local shops and just kids playing in the streets and great places to eat. That is one of the things that they are known for, is some of their amazing food. Ajuda is one of Lisbon's oldest neighborhoods. Doesn't usually get a lot of attention, but it is amazing. There's museums, a botanical garden, huge parks, quite beautiful.
Well, the other thing is that they have that area called Miradouro Mania, the scenic city views. Lisbon's trademark 7 hills are peppered across cityscape like lofty guardians, color and history, capped by a collection of terraces known as miradouros. So, and of course, you cannot go to Portugal without experiencing port. Do you know what that is, Randy? Do you know what port is? I've had it touch my lips occasionally. Yes, I do.
It's a sweet red fortified wine from Portugal. It began in Portugal, and actually, we're going to talk a little bit. They're doing it. They're making it down in South Africa right now, and is becoming pretty prevalent as a drink also. But it's a pretty popular drink, and it is. It's the special thing about it is that it is from the Douro region, which is in northern Portugal, and it has to do with the types of grapes that they use. Yeah. So anyway, pretty interesting, but we need to do a full show on Portugal.
Lisbon, the city that doesn't sleep. Start the night at Bairro Alto. Neighborhood by daytime is absolutely desert with shops closed.
Dessert? Deserted? Typo.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's a cocktail made with, they have this thing called Morgan Gasca. Cocktail made with vodka and fresh strawberries. I think we've had those here at home.
That sounds actually pretty good.
Yeah. Cocktails, shots are cheap. Had about 3 to 4 euros. Wait a minute, 3 to 4 euros? Oh, I guess the euro went down due to that could be dimes at this point.
Yeah, it's like 15 cents.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it's about $3 or $4.
All right.
So it's not bad. Anyway, Portugal, stepping stone to Africa. Stepping stone. What the heck was that?
Stepping stone.
Yeah, they have amazing bakeries with all the tourists that flock to the famous Palais Belém. They have custard tarts. There are so many. Other bakeries also making lovely cakes and tarts to taste. And all I remember is going to Europe is that the outdoor pastries, you walk. You want to walk. You do not want to take a cab.
By.
No, first of all,
you want to walk so you can try them out.
Yeah, you have to walk. Take a train about 5-6 miles away to walk back to the bakery because you're going to find about 8 or 9 stops along the way. I wish my teeth would work today because that'd be awesome.
Have you been drinking this morning,
Not
or
yet,
what's the deal?
It's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere.
It does. So, okay, let's get to Africa.
Let's go.
So, one of the things that I find just fascinating is the size of it. It is huge. There's absolutely no way that we can cover any of the amazing safari regions, deserts, and things like that. The wildlife, the culture of all the people. So we're going to hit on just a few of them.
All right.
And so I find here's a funny fact, though. I find these goofy things when you're doing research and stuff. So in Ethiopia, did you know that clocks are upside down? With their 6 o'clock is our 12 o'clock. And
why would they do that?
I don't know. I was just going to say, and I don't really know what the reason is, but it would kind of screw you up until you got used to it. It's kind of like going to Europe and driving the left side.
Let's see, if you slept till noon, you'd be getting up at 6. What's wrong? That's not all bad.
I don't know.
I was up at 6 every day.
Africa and Europe are separated by less than 9 miles at the Strait of Gibraltar, which separates Spain from Morocco. So they're actually they've talked about putting an undersea rail tunnel to connect the two. Have not done it yet, but kind of makes sense, I guess. Africa has the largest desert, the Sahara, which is almost the size of the United States. Think about that. Desert.
That's a big desert.
That is a very big desert.
I think they have a race across that.
Yeah, I think they do. Cars. I do think. I think there's a Walt Disney movie that's about that.
Really?
Wow. Not Herbie the Love Bug, but something like that. Victoria Falls, which is actually, I believe, in Zambia and Zimbabwe, between those two countries, 355 feet tall and 1 mile wide. Not the largest waterfall in the world, but one of them. And apparently, it's just absolutely stunning. You can enter to get to the waterfall on either side. And so different views. One is going to be a little bit further away, and one you're going to actually be, I think it's in Zambia side. It's actually, you can be in the mist. You can get that close to it. The Zimbabwe side is, you're going to see it from a distance. So you're going to get the beautiful, captivating pictures.
That's very cool.
Timbuktu. Do you know about Timbuktu?
I've had people send me there.
Timbuktu is a real city. Timbuktu, Mali is the home of one of the oldest universities in the world, and it was established in, get this, 982 CE.
What is CE?
CE. I'm going to say it's a long time ago. It's not like BC. BC is before Christ. CE. What does that mean? By the 12th century, the city was such an intellectual hub that the National Geographic referred to it as the Paris of the medieval world.
Really? Wow. It's funny. You get down in there, and the only thing I remember about Timbuktu is the Three Stooges. Seems like they were always going off to Timbuktu, or what was the other one? Well, Tarzan movies, the old Johnny Weissmuller, somehow it ended up going through Timbuktu.
That would make sense. That would make sense with Tarzan. Yeah. Did you know that Sudan, one of the countries in Africa, has more than 200 pyramids, and that's double the number that you found in Egypt. So you think about it. I mean, you think of Egypt. What do you think of? Pyramids.
Well, it's pyramids.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So Sudan has 200, which is many more than what.
It's a shame too with all the stuff that's going on in Egypt that tourism is down a little bit. Because I always wanted to go to Egypt. I always wanted to go see the pyramids. There's so much lore behind those pyramids because they also match up in the sky with some sky systems. So there's a lot of stuff going on over there.
When I was in college, I actually got to see King Tutankhamun's. They brought it to Chicago to the art museum.
Was he there?
Yeah, he was there. He was in fine form, well preserved. They brought the whole that tour.
Right.
All the jewelry and all.
Right.
I mean, it was very moving.
That and Steve Martin doing the King Tut.
Yeah, no.
No, I actually saw the same thing. That was a big deal here in the Midwest. We all went down there. I saw it 2 or 3 times, and the amount of gold they found that in King Tut's tomb. Strangely,
I know.
What was in King Tut's tomb. We're going to just steal it. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. They brought it over here so everybody could see it. Ethiopia, though, is an African country, one of the only, having the largest alphabet of all the countries in the world. 345 symbols. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we have, 26? China has 3,500, and they're in the middle, but when you have 345 here, and I wonder if you get you a bronze medal or a silver medal or I don't know.
To go to school for like 15 years just to learn.
Some of those languages down there, they do clicks.
Yeah,
be like, my name is what? Yeah, I don't know, but they do. I mean, you shouldn't laugh at them. They understand what they're saying. And that's what they're taught. But Africa, it's a big deal, and a lot of stuff going on over there. A lot of the places are still safe. We want to go where it's safe, obviously. Well, Gene, things happen.
Things happen. Phones ring.
Yeah, well, phones
ring.
What's
the rule, Randy?
I didn't.
Turn your phone on?
No, my phone was off.
Oh.
My computer was on. Somehow this Apple stuff.
Yes, I've had that happen too.
So if you have a phone, your computer will ring. I didn't know that. What? How do you answer it? Hello?
All right. So, hey, let's head to, I want to head to Tanzania, one of our first stops.
That just shows you the power of the show when people call in all the way from downtown Chicago. Really? I mean, how'd they get our private number?
It was very cool. That was actually a good call.
Tanzania. So let's go back to Tanzania.
We want to get back to the show.
Yeah.
So, Serengeti. Do you know the Serengeti is in Tanzania? Who has not heard of the Serengeti?
I've heard the Serengeti.
Yes.
I dated her in high school. Serengeti. No, that was no.
It's a vast ecosystem in East Central Africa. 12,000 square miles covers.
That is amazing when you think about it. So that's like 12,000 square miles would be 6,000 times 2,000. No, that'd be 12 million.
Not. Are you gonna do a Jethro thing?
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
There's also, and the Serengeti is also referred to as the, I hope I'm saying this right, Ngorongoro crater.
I don't know how you pronounce that.
I don't know either.
Ngorongoro crater. Well, I don't know. That's not Spanish. I can tell you that.
So the jewel, it's this crater. It's actually it's a deep volcanic crater, largest unflooded, unbroken caldera in the world. It's actually 20 kilometers across, 600 meters deep, and 300 square kilometers in area. It's huge.
When that thing goes off, do not be in the middle of it.
Well,
it's
amazing. It's dormant. It is. I believe it is dormant.
Tell that to the last guy standing there.
It's not going to blow up.
Chakalaka was the last thing he said. So, incredible.
So it's.
Conservation. Go for it.
It was the Serengeti Plain. Okay, so it's also known as the Ngorongoro
that's
crater.
So people,
easy for you to say.
Second technical glitch we've ever had. Only today in 20 minutes.
That's okay. That's all right. Makes it fun. All right. So interesting thing is that this crater is actually. And which is also known as Serengeti Plain, is next to Tanzania's largest coffee plantation.
All about the coffee, Gene. We'll be right back. Jean Latham, Randy Weckerly. Be right back. Coming soon to DistilleryChannel.com. Along with our award-winning Where to Play Golf radio team, we'll be traveling to great destinations like Hawaii, the Golden Isles of Georgia, Napa and Sonoma, and even Lake Tahoe. Even more spectacular, you can now sign up to join us on our 2016 Station for Vacation listener trips, rated for you, our loyal fans. Join myself, Randy Weckerly, and Jean Latham of the DistilleryChannel.com and LiveEcoStyle.com, along with Where to Play Golf's Michael Stewart, America's #1 golf course writer, and Tim Bona, travel correspondent, as we venture to these world-class destinations. Join us on future trips will be golf iconic LPGA Hall of Famer Nancy Lopez and her Nancy Lopez Golf Adventure Team. Learn the finer points of golf and enjoying life while sharing one-on-one moments with Nancy and her team and learn what makes a real pro tick. Sign up now to get more information about our fall and spring upcoming trips. More information can be found at thedistillerychannel.com, wheretoplaygolf.com. That's thedistillerychannel.com. Join us. Well, Jean, we safely made it back.
I feel like I've been in a car accident twice.
Well,
today.
it's only 3 times. The show should be smooth. All 4 engines now are working again on the 747 we're flying on. Just, if the production team could have got in here today, we'd have none of these problems. Hair and makeup didn't show up.
I know. Nobody showed up.
The janitor didn't show up.
I swear it was like Monday morning.
No. Well, let's continue on with Tanzania. I'm excited.
Tanzania.
I really would like to go right now.
Can we go?
Yeah.
So I spoke a little bit of a mistruth. There is actually an active volcano in that area. In the crater area.
Jean told me this one wasn't boom. That's all you heard.
So it doesn't eject often, but apparently when it does, it throws this white mass into the air, and the ash is going to turn into a really calcium-rich material that's as hard as cement. So that's, you think about the Serengeti, it's like, this is like rock hard. I mean, any pictures that you see, it looks like literally, water wouldn't even like permeate it.
No, well.
But there's also a lot of wildlife. That's what I want to get to. So it sounds like wildlife.
There we go.
Sounds like a wildebeest. So perfect timing, even though we've screwed everything else up in this show. No, the wildlife there is significant.
Yeah.
Wildebeest, gazelles, zebras, buffalo inhabit the area, along with lions, hyenas. I mean, think about all the National Geographic shows that you've seen. Like, they're there.
My National Geographic was Tarzan.
We didn't see National Geographic when you were a kid.
Oh, obviously. Guys watch that for the wrong reasons.
So they could see women with no tops on.
Yeah, of course. Well, you got to get your
weird
education somewhere.
Oh, my goodness. Anyway, extreme weather conditions plague this area. Harsh winds combining with heat. It's a harsh environment. Wildebeest, they take safaris through there. It is amazing. There's also like rich areas, grasslands for feeding that you're going to see. It's a pretty significant tourist attraction, but they're pretty conscientious about how they let people in there and what you can and can't do.
Apparently, it's millions of wildebeest because 250,000 died during the journey from Tanzania to the Maasai.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do not make it. It's a total of 500 miles. Death is usually from thirst, hunger, exhaustion, or...
I was going to say predators.
Predators is number 4 in that list.
Really?
And they call it predation.
Because of the climate that's going to kill them.
I don't think that's that naked and afraid thing. They actually have guys going to do that. How do no, if the wildebeest...
the Serengeti?
If the wildebeest knows how to... does not go 500 miles, me as a naked guy ain't going 5 feet. I'll get back in that trailer. Take me home. I'm done. I'm out. Tap them out. So,
I was just reading here also, 750,000 zebra
Can you imagine? I really do, though. Seriously. Want to go and have the experience of seeing that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and you were talking earlier about this robust rails thing. So we've checked into that a little bit. You have more background than I do. But is that part of it? Is that they take the train?
You pick
train,
you pick your trip, man. It could be 5 days, 7 days, 12 days, whatever it is. And it is elegant. It's if there's something past 5-star, it's 6-star. The train is second to none. The food is second to none. Safety second to none. They actually have a golf trip where you can not only go golf but see vistas that are unparalleled, and then go out and see. So Serengeti.
Let me ask you: are you able to? I mean, part of what's really important for me when I travel is to be able to really meet the local people, kind of immerse yourself in it. So would that be part of that kind of trip?
Yeah,
too,
absolutely. You're going to get off the train. You're not
stop
going
to where you get to visit local communities and see people and artwork and things like that.
And we have a professor, Professor Joe, over at Northern Illinois University that went and you talked about the falls. He's a specialist in taking pictures of falls.
Oh, really?
But he has a way that if we go to that train trip, then he goes deep. And he has people over there that can take us deep.
So the particular culture here is called the Maasai people. They actually, interesting, as rugged as an environment it is, they actually graze their livestock in open plains. And they've been doing it for about 200 years. So they actually live off this land.
Right.
And that I find fascinating because it seems that it is, there are some grassland areas and stuff, but it seems that it is very, very desolate.
Well, if you talk Africa, you can go, well, our friend Bobby, she would give up. I mean, she's gone out. And this
she's
woman,
done safaris, like Africa.
Yeah, she's gone up Kilimanjaro. I mean, she's gone up Kilimanjaro, walked up Kilimanjaro. She's slept in tents.
Wow.
She went there many years with her husband, and she will. And she's been in Alaska, all over the world, and she will tell you the African plain and the sunsets and the experience she had. She was truly one of those adventurers that would stay in the canvas tents and go out every night and have her dinner.
I could see Bobby doing that
without question. And
she's a tough girl.
She's one of the. A lot of people don't know this. World-class shooters in the world,
she is,
riflemen.
Like women's.
Yeah, she competed in Italy and won prizes and all that. So if something moves you on land, she's killed it. Boom. I don't think today is.
I was going to say.
Yeah, but only in defense. Only in defense. I'm not saying she's not a hunter at all.
So this area is also easy for you to say. I can't say it. Archaeological and paleontological.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so a lot of history. Obviously, again, we talked about the age of the country and how long people have inhabited that area. So lots of that type of stuff there. So let's talk a little bit about coffee, though.
Okay.
I mentioned earlier that the Serengeti is very close to one of the largest coffee plantations in Tanzania.
Right.
Tanzania coffee, known for its winey acidity, sometimes even sharp. It's got a rich, bold, strong taste. It's a medium to full body, intense and creamy. Kind of has a berry taste to it, like a fruity flavor a little bit is what they reference it. But there's three of the most distinctive coffees in Tanzania is Moshi, Arusha, and the Kilimanjaro.
Yeah. It's estimated 400,000 farming families obtain revenue from coffee, and the crop comprises 20% of Tanzania's export earnings. Third largest coffee producer in Africa.
Now think about that, though. Think how many people this industry employs. When you look at about 1 billion people, or a little over 1 billion people in the entire country, just in Tanzania alone, there's 400,000 people that earn their revenue, financial.
Growing in areas 1,400 to 2,000 feet above sea level, and again that famous term for coffee, Arabica. So we learned that down in Costa Rica.
Yes.
Costa Rica, didn't we? That's the number one. You have something that has Arabica on it, you got a good coffee coming at you. I think the cups of coffee from Africa, you want them to be small.
So, yeah, and I'm reading this, and I'm just kind of putting it together compared to Costa Rica. So I think that this Arabica, the whole concept, and I should have did a little bit of research on this, but it's in Tanzania, it's in the Kilimanjaro region, which is known as highlands, which it has to do with it's like grapes. It's like it has to do with the temperature and where the elevation and where it's grown. So anyway, good coffee in Tanzania.
I'm wide awake now, and the next story that we're going to unfold, I find fascinating. It's about a cartoon. No, that's not right. Madagascar.
It is a cartoon.
Isn't that a cartoon?
It's a Disney movie. It's not been that long ago that it was out. But Madagascar is actually one of the countries in Africa.
Well, when you have a country and you fall off of Africa as a country,
they're kind of on their own out
there. You
there.
got some issues, but they didn't want to be taxed, so they just fell away. Is that how that story rolls?
I don't think so. I don't think they had much choice
wrong
about
again.
it.
Go ahead.
But it is. It's an island. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful things is Asolo National Park. It's been on this island since 1962. It is the most important. It has one of the most important freshwater reservoirs in this area, and which is real important when you're living on an island where you're going to get your fresh water.
Right.
But beautiful. It is called quotations Madagascar's Colorado, that particular area. So it is stunningly gorgeous. Lots of wildlife also on Madagascar.
Yeah. What nightclub?
Well, I don't know. I think that's in downtown in the capital. That is in...
Oh, you said wildlife. I thought you said nightlife.
Wildlife.
Okay, found nowhere else on Earth. I was sort of excited about that. So it's been isolated as islands for 70 million years, breaking away from Africa around 165 million years ago. And the guy that got up in the morning and just drove out for 5 minutes.
For coffee?
I'll be back, honey. That's 170 million. He's still trying to find where'd the bridge go. Hey!
From India, it broke away from India 100 million years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this. The time. I mean, how the Earth evolved is just so fascinating.
Well, we're going to get back to that fascination in a minute. Randy and Jean going to be doing a historical review of how Madagascar fell off of Africa. Coming soon to DistilleryChannel.com, and along with our award-winning Where to Play Golf radio team, we'll be traveling to great destinations like Hawaii, the Golden Isles of Georgia, Napa and Sonoma, and even Lake Tahoe. Even more spectacular, you can now sign up to join us on our 2016 Station for Vacation listener trips, created for you, our loyal fans. Join myself, Randy Weckerly, and Jean Latham of the DistilleryChannel.com and LiveEcoStyle.com, along with Where to Play Golf's Michael Stewart, America's #1 golf course writer, and Tim Bona, travel correspondent, as we venture to these world-class destinations. Join us on future trips. Will be golf iconic LPGA Hall of Famer Nancy Lopez and her Nancy Lopez Golf Adventure Team. Learn the finer points of golf and enjoying life while sharing one-on-one moments with Nancy and her team, and learn what makes a real pro tick. Sign up now to get more information about our fall and spring upcoming trips. More information can be found at thedistillerychannel.com, wheretoplaygolf.com. That's thedistillerychannel.com. Join us. Well, Jean, all the technology is turned off now.
We can go home. Can we go home?
No, we are still in Africa.
I want to talk about Madagascar's wildlife.
I do too.
They are known for their wildlife, and I want to say Madagascar. I just think
Madagascar.
That's really like
one of the few words we can pronounce.
Yeah, this is true. So, did you know that lemurs are sacred in Madagascar?
I know I do.
So they are revered and protected by cultural taboo. Many of the myths come in. The connection is between lemurs and humans and humors. Oh my gosh!
What is
one
wrong?
Of us can
Void
talk.
Today.
Lemurs and humans. Okay. As of 2012, there was 103 living species and subspecies of lemurs. I just think that's interesting.
And who are they sacred to?
Cute little furry to humans.
Wow. A lemur mixed with a human
is a humor.
Is a humor. So now I know what humor is. Yeah, there you go. All right. Wow. All I can say is that most of Madagascar's wildlife is found nowhere else on Earth. Madagascar has been isolated for around that 70 million years, breaking away 165 million years ago. And then from India, nearly 100 million years later. The isolation led to the development of unique flora and fauna. 90% of its wildlife found only in Madagascar. I definitely want to be on our bucket list to go do this, because that is an incredible statistic. So now what we're talking about pulling away is like how North and South America pulled away from the west part of Africa.
Right.
India and Madagascar pulled away from the east part of Africa. And at some point in time in the future, the cool part is it's all coming back together.
Yeah, it is. It's actually moving back together is what I understand.
Sort of like... Who designed that plan?
Who knew?
Yeah.
A little bit of culture. It's been pretty colorful. There was a lot of pirate activity at one point. They're out there on their own, and they're actually in the Indian Ocean. But it was a resting place for European pirates and traders in the late 1700s and early 1800s, and is rumored to be the site of the independent pirate nation today called Libertalia. Which may or may not have existed.
Okay, we're not going to party with those guys.
Pirates. Is there nice pirates, maybe?
No. It's not. That ain't happening. I'm telling you, it's not happening.
Anyway,
remember what the pirates did down in, what was it, Savannah? No, Charleston.
In Charleston, yeah. No. It was Savannah. I think it was Savannah, yeah.
Was it?
It was the pirate house.
Oh, yeah.
That we were at.
Yeah.
These sailors would come in, they'd get really drunk, they'd knock them over the head, and next thing you know, you'd be on a slow boat to China.
They slid them down a tube
yeah.
from that bar
right.
under the ground.
Right.
And then one guy woke up 2 years later, finally made his way back because he was on a slow boat to China, literally.
I think was this a police officer story? Yeah.
So I'm sure these pirates are much nicer.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Food and drink, a lot of cultural diversity there. They reflect the influence there is Southeast Asia, African, Indian, Chinese, European. Sounds like a very eclectic.
So the world is the influence. I mean, basically, you got that covered.
Yeah. There is rice, and local rice seems to be a pretty big staple in that area. Also, they have a lot of spices that come from. It's called the Malagasy cuisine. Garlic, onions, ginger, tomatoes, curry, coconut milk, vanilla, cloves, turmeric, all are common flavoring. So things are going to be spicy.
Okay,
there.
So one of the things we got to remember on this trip.
Xantax?
No, Prilosec.
Yeah, there you go.
Here, take this, or 3 of them, because that major supplier of coffee, lychees, and shrimp. Local drink is called the Renan Ampango, which is a burned rice water.
Now, that does not sound
That's
good.
a good salesman. So the guy had the bartending job, and he had to make this drink, and he burned a little bit. He goes, "No, that's the way it's supposed to be. Really,
Here, drink
it's
this.
awesome.
This is good.
It's burnt rice
became
water.
the national drink.
Yeah,
Rice
they didn't know
water.
any better. They were on an island.
Oh my goodness.
They just had to go with it.
They have a snack food called the Koba. It's actually rice. It's rice served over banana and seafood. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, they do
That's
serve
their snack.
ramazava, the dish made up of leaves, herbs. I wonder what kind of leaves that is. Leaves are pieces of beef, pork cooked in oil until brown. Now, what Randy and Jean are attempting to do today is to assuage people to travel with us to Africa. What are you eating, Randy and Jean? I have no clue.
I have no idea.
No, but that's the experiential part of what we're doing. You're not going to go there if you want to stay at home and watch the Packers play and have cheese curds. Go with that. We're going to be on the road.
That's right. Oh, okay.
Oh, here's a highlight. It's not safe to drink the water.
Ooh.
Don't drink the water in Madagascar.
So
the visitors should stick to bottled water even when they brush their teeth. Bottles of water are available everywhere. Roadside stalls, stores sell bottled water and Coca-Cola. So, popular local drink, the Renan Ampango, which is burnt ice water, has a point. Get rid of the germs. Burn the ice water. Hey, you know what? Just a little happy music from Madagascar.
Sounds like a tango line.
Yeah, well, Madagascar's got to have its own. It's
got
got its all going on there.
Flavor going on.
Yeah, cool. Can't wait to go here. I'm excited as much as we talk about it. Experiences excite people, and that's why we go. I guarantee you, this trip is going to be all over.
I was thinking about this though. As much as we have traveled, it's more than just exciting. It's about I learn so much.
Right.
I mean, I learn so much every time that we go somewhere. Every time I pick up, an article and want to do some research, stuff that I would never in a million years, pick up on unless I was A, in a business that's what I do, and B, that I travel. It's just fascinating to me, the cultures and the people, and that's the thing.
One of the things that we're going to learn when you go on trips with us, Jean has what we call Jean PS.
Mm-hmm, I do.
And that is going the opposite way of the way Randy would go. Randy's not the adventure one.
But it always takes you to interesting places.
It does.
Always.
Yeah.
Always interesting.
We have not gone to jail yet, nor needed bond money.
Just close one time.
Well, I forgot. No, we didn't. No,
we don't talk about that.
Well, no, it's led us to great opportunities that we never would have had. Seriously, and if we can just corral Jean on this trip, make sure that she comes back every time she leaves the camp, everything will be good. But no, it's gonna be an exciting trip. Can we start talking about Victoria Falls?
Yeah, actually, I was gonna mention that
because I like to say Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
You like Madagascar?
So you like Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe.
So Victoria Falls actually falls literally, no pun intended, falls between two countries, Zimbabwe and Zambia. So you can enter on either side. It sounds like one side is a little bit safer than the other, and I think it's the Zambia side. The Zambia, you're going to get closer to the falls. You're going to have a better, you're literally going to get sprayed. You can get so close to them. The Zimbabwe side is going to be a distance view, which is where you're going to get obviously the beautiful shots from a distance.
Amazing.
So anyway, it's beautiful. It's not one of the biggest waterfalls, but it is a big one. 355 feet high and a mile wide.
Wow.
Think about that.
Well, everything begins down there. It starts in Cape Town.
I know.
Yeah.
That's on my bucket list.
Yeah. Cape Town.
Is on my bucket list.
Cape Town, South Africa. Classy place. And when you get down there, you're close to the bottom of the world, I think. Mm-hmm. Next stop, Antarctica.
Mm-hmm. There's actually a gentleman that I follow on YouTube, and he has family down there, and I love watching his stuff. He just does like 8, 10, 15-minute little blips. His name is Casey Neistat, and I've seen some amazing scenery. He just has a really insightful way of looking at things. Anyway, he goes there, and I can't wait when I see one of his episodes come up that's in Cape Town. It really gives you a great sense of what the city is about. But it's a coastal city in South Africa. Right. Second most populous urban area in South Africa after Johannesburg. It's the capital, and it's the primate city of the Western Cape.
Yeah, and there is down there a cable car ride that you can take to the Table Mountain aerial cable ride. And hike, and it's named for its flat plateau. The Table Mountain is South Africa's most notable geographic landmark. Table Mountain is the flat-top mountain forming a prominent landmark overlooking the city of Cape Town, South Africa. Cableway goes up and down every 15 minutes. From the top, you can view Cape Town and its bays and peninsula. Ambitious walkers
I've seen the
follow.
views. I mean, I've seen the views from that just in various travel magazines and stuff. And it, again, equally, I mean, it's such a stunning. I think of like, okay, Rio de Janeiro, we just came from there. Right. And the iconic, view that you see there from the mountains.
Right.
Obviously not the same view, but it's equally stunning.
Can I tell you one thing I'm not going to do down there?
What's that?
Go swimming.
Why?
It has the world's greatest amount of white sharks.
White
sharks in the water.
I think that's actually a quite popular surf area, like certain times of the year, though, I believe.
Well,
so
go for it.
I'm not going to find you on a stand-up paddleboard or a surfboard down there.
None.
You know what, Randy?
None.
I don't think I would anyway.
Me?
Yeah.
Go surfing?
Yeah.
In a great white infested.
Without the great whites, I can't see you surfing.
Oh no.
Probably not.
Somebody's got to do the filming, Gene. I keep telling you this every show. Every
I
show, I got to go over this one more time.
I'm just reminding you a little bit. So, what would you do down there? What would you want to do for like fun and activity?
I want to go visit Gary Player and his ranch.
Gary Player has a ranch there?
He does. Gary Player is from South Africa, and before there were jetted.
And Gary Player, for those of us
is
who not
the
know
iconic, one of the
Player
big three, many iconic, one of the biggest golfers in the world.
Thank you.
At the age of 84, still. I don't think it's sorry, Gary. You're over 80. I know that. You're still in shape. He does like 2,000 sit-ups a day. He's remarkable, and he's from South Africa. He is truly one of the greatest gentlemen in the world, and he was flying to the United States in the 60s when nobody came to play in golf and take golf back to South Africa, and he was the father of all the great golf stars now in South Africa, but he also does a lot of things, and one of the things you'd like is he has a big equestrian.
Does he really? Awesome.
Go into his ranch.
Can we go visit him when we're down there?
I'm sure we can, because we will put on our Where to Play Golf hat, and we will go visit him. Seriously,
absolutely.
He's always open to it, and he's always there to promote goodwill, mankind, golf, and being in shape. And the guy, when you see him,
he's like completely physically fit.
He was in Brazil. He gave the guys when he was in Brazil. He was basically the captain, the coach of the South African team, and there were certain guys.
This
past week.
Really?
Yeah, he was in Rio.
I did not know
and
that.
He was the guys that decided from around the world not to go to the Olympics. Gary has a sharp mind that he's spot on. That he said they made a big mistake.
Call him up, Randy.
1-800-GARY Player, the night of golf. No, that's enough for a golf segue.
I know,
okay?
I was going to say. So Cape Town is, it's all about food and culture. It's a very bustling, very vibrant city. Some of the beautiful places to stay, one of our favorite collections, the Belmond.
Yeah.
It's Belmond Mount Nelson Hotel. And I have seen pictures of this, and it is a stunning luxury resort. But it's got this amazing, most zen feeling to it. The cool thing is it's just a really short walk to downtown and Table Mountain. Actually, it's a great location if you're going to do the whole Table Mountain cable car thing. It's been regarded as the city's one of the city's top 5-star hotels. Cuisine is amazing. You can soak up the sun. There's stunning beaches. You can, stroll around in the neighborhood and just experience the city by foot.
Yeah, I want to go to the Big Hole.
The big hole. What's the big hole?
The big hole, with the fascination in diamonds, is that, of course, a majority of the world's diamonds have come from Africa. Mm-hmm. And the Rovos Rail, one of the most luxurious train rides in the world, sometimes takes people to a place called the Big Hole. And it's a visit to the Diamond Mine Museum and the world's largest man-made excavation. We can't talk or do anything today.
I know. I'm not sure what it is. And it's pretty bad when both of us are like that. Usually one or the other can cover up, but neither one of us can
not to cover up
today.
I think it takes like an hour to drive down to get into the bottom of this.
Oh, wow.
And it creates its own vortex because it's so deep. Yeah, helicopters can't fly over it.
Really?
Yeah, it has its own vortex. It'll suck helicopters.
You're making this up.
I am not making it up. I saw it on the internet, and there's nothing anybody lies.
Everything's truth on the internet. We know that.
And the Belmont safaris, where animals and birds migrate and humans come to watch. That sounds like me, and I'm sure Jean will try to go ride a wild wildebeest,
elephant or something. Maybe not a wildebeest. They have, the two safaris that we would recommend would be the Rovos Rail and then the Belmont. And as Randy said, but there again, Botswana is right next door. So there's amazing wilderness that you're going to be able to see.
You just love to say the words Botswana.
Botswana.
Doesn't mean anything to me other than a great place to go.
So food there, food in Cape Town area, is a rainbow of cuisine. It's African.
Wow. We're going to get back to that in a minute. I love food.
That was loud.
Well, got to announce it, what we're doing.
They have these great blends. African Cape Maley.
To DistilleryChannel.com, and along with our
Who is this guy?
Where to Play Golf radio team, we'll be traveling to great destinations like Hawaii, the Golden Isles. Guy keeps talking about trips. Napa and Sonoma, and even Lake Tahoe. Even more spectacular, you can now sign up to join us on our 2016 Station for Vacation listener trips. I'm going to do that. For you, our loyal fans. We should call these Station for Vacation trips. What a great idea. Latham of the DistilleryChannel.com and Live Eco. That's us. Did we do this? Along with How can I talk? Michael Spice, America's #1 golf course writer. We should do trips for our listeners. I'd like to go to Africa. We should line something up. We should stay at the Belmont Hotel. We should go on a safari. I want to see the Big Hole.
Quiet.
This is
Somebody's
important.
talking.
It's a man of non-importance, I've heard many times. And you've been one leader of the choir. Blah, 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 blah. All you say is, I see her lips moving, but I'd like to see him stop. I'm not going to stop through this whole commercial.
Exactly.
Ain't happening.
Oh, my gosh. Wear me out sometimes.
Wasn't that good?
Yeah, excellent.
Hey, this guy talking about the DistilleryChannel.com. What the? He did it again. Join us. Who? Who was that?
It's all about the food, Randy. Let's get back to all about the food.
Well, when's takeout coming in?
Soon. I'm getting a little hungry.
And how come takeout comes in?
Takeout comes into your home. So you have to take it out to bring it in.
We're going to need 2 shows to cover Africa because we only got about another 10, 12 minutes for
all
of Africa.
Let's talk a little bit more about the food, though. African in Cape Town, African. They have it's like they call it a rainbow cuisine of blends. African, Cape Malay, Indian, Portuguese influences in dishes with curries and stews and sausage and skewered meats and fish. It's done oftentimes in what they call a bray, which is a barbecue sauce. And my favorite, they have amazing Cape winelands. Cape Town, in that Cape Town area, is becoming quickly in the international setting a very notable wine making area. So we love that. Wine is good. It's fun. It more than anything, you know what I love about like the wine tours is that it's a great way to experience like the communities. I mean, you drive around from kind of winery to winery, get to talk to the local people a lot, sip a little bit of their local wine that they make. They're very passionate about what they do, and it really embeds you in the areas that you're traveling to. So highly recommended if you like wine.
Well, just to let you know, Ernie L's a famous golfer.
Why do we keep coming back to golf?
Because he's from South Africa and has a very famous wine.
Excellent.
And I'm going to get back. I want to talk about drink. And I shifted over here just for a minute. in the Cape Winelands, a handful of inns and restaurants that are shaping South Africa's blossoming farm-to-table movement. Whenever I ask friends, people say they're bound for South Africa. They'll be spending their time invariably, the response is the same, several days a week exploring Cape Town and the garden route, followed by a safari. So it's all about that safari. It's all about wine, and it's about farm-to-table food. And I think it's going to be an incredible experience. Winelands region begins minutes outside Cape Town as one of the country's best-kept secrets, and the area delivers both jaw-dropping natural beauty and plenty of sophisticated pleasures. As long as we're sophisticated, we get to go. So we're going to have to get the How to Become Sophisticated in 10 Minutes a Day book.
We can figure it out.
All right, what's up next, Jean?
Well, Randy, I am looking at some of these amazing wineries, and I think we're going to keep that for another show.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many of them.
Let's do that on the Distillery Channel show.
We could do that.
Yeah, I think wineries, there's so many down there that...
I mean, that's a whole show in itself.
Well, I think the thing is I'd like to get Ernie and Gary to send us some of their wine, and we can talk about it on the show.
Absolutely.
That'd be good.
I would love to do that.
Yeah,
we need to do that, too, for the Christmas program thing we've got going on.
Yeah.
Johannesburg, South Africa, known as the cradle of humankind. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is actually South Africa's largest city and the capital of its inland Gauteng province.
It was once a home to Nelson Mandela.
Yes,
and Desmond
there's
Tutu.
That's a whole other story. But this was pretty major significance. They had Nelson Mandela.
Well, Nelson Mandela, when they had apartheid, Nelson Mandela was sent to prison for, I think it was 27 years. And he believed in his people and believed in freedom. And when he was released from prison, apartheid, which meant separation of white and blacks, basically,
right,
class system, is that evaporated. And to have that be in our area of living and watch the evolution down in South Africa where people now are free, and apartheid is a history. Oh, wait a minute.
There's a museum there, too, an apartheid museum that you have to see when you go to Johannesburg.
Right.
Absolutely. It will put you to tears.
Yeah, so this is under the Who Knew moment. Who knew?
Right.
Who knew?
Facts?
Yeah, just in terms of drink, the local brew where the locals get tipsy, Latina Nova, a trendy bar in the upscale neighborhood of Rosebank. It's a great spot to visit if you're staying in the area, and it's not too far from a few of the more well-known hotels in the area, so apparently you can find your way back. When you're going to eat, Coobs, C-O-O-B-S, Coobs, rhyming with...
Yes.
Well, we'll let it go.
I have to tell you this. This is a funny fact. You're going to love this one. In South Africa, you are legally allowed to attach flamethrowers to your car in order to deter carjacking. Serious. I am deadpan serious.
Boom, chakalaka. I've got a surprise for you.
You have no hair or eyebrows left.
So you have a lineup.
It's the guy with the missing hair.
Guy standing there in charred clothes, no eyebrows, no hair.
I love it when I find these little tidbits. And it's like,
wow.
Where else could you put a flamethrower on your
You got to take the law in your own hands. One of the most huge, poignant things that we can do, and a huge key to understanding the history of the country, is to visit Apartheid Museum. Difficult and at times emotional. It'll impact the traveler in a way I cannot explain.
Right.
And will likely have you walking away in a very different perspective on life and freedom.
There's another area in Johannesburg. It's called Soweto. This is a huge suburb, and it actually has it's home to 1.3 million South Africans. And it is a settlement. It began as a settlement where people of color were forced into the apartheid. Significant culture there. If you have the opportunity to go there, you have to make a day trip to go into that area. It just sounds, again, just the culture is amazing.
Well, we're sort of stuck in South Africa. They have a new good food and wine show that's going to be October 28th through the 30th. 2016. It's Africa's largest culinary event, and it launches from the theme Fresh.
So they do these. I was reading about this Good Food and Wine Show. They do these all over the world. Africa, South Africa, obviously it's a very large one, but it's in Durban, which I think it was just in Johannesburg this summer. I think they do like 3 a year, but they're huge. Tickets like sell out really rapidly, but it is all about the food and drink, and the theme, like you said, is fresh. So suggests to me, obviously, that it's all going to be about local produce and people's the restaurants, and very much themed around product that's available in the area.
Their underpinnings say it's all about prevailing global obsession with sustainability and a healthier planet. It's inspired by the global trend of urban farming and gradual urbanation of rural contexts. Golden thread throughout the Durban show is expressed through innovative culinary experiences, variety of themes and programs. I can't wait to go to this stuff. Really good.
All good.
All
great
stuff.
All great. Let's real quick touch on the Walvis Bay, the Namibia desert. There's just a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to have to come back and do another show.
We're going to have to come back because at the end of this show, and when we've got, we're both looking at the clock, we are now going to just say goodbye to Africa for part 1. And we're going to talk about a major announcement that we're making at the end of the show. As of yesterday, the Live Eco Style team of Jean Latham and Randy Weckerly, our Where to Play Golf show, Michael Stewart, America's number one golf show, golf writer and talk host, along with Tim Bona, we are now partnered with Live Eco Style and Nancy Lopez and their Nancy Lopez Golf Adventure team.
But it's more than just golf.
It is. It's all about traveling around the world. And why are we doing the world tours, Jean?
We are doing the world tours right now. If anybody's followed the Olympics, the women's golf just killed it, literally, in terms of the level of interest has peaked internationally. The 2020 Olympics are going to Tokyo, Japan.
Right.
And the hubbub about women's golf is over the top.
Right.
And so one of the great things is not only is Nancy an icon in the golf industry, she is also one of the most loveliest people that you'll ever meet.
Right.
In terms of her interest in empowering people, both men and women, helping people grow, just life skills stuff, learning how to live a happy life, experiencing the world. She's very much into ecology and sustainability.
Right.
She's all these other interesting facets to her, in addition to her amazing golf career.
Well,
and so we could not team up with a better person in terms of being able to go forward and bring these trips.
And we have formed what is now called, because of the evolution of women's golf, this past weekend, the Pacific Rim, meaning China, South Korea, Japan, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, and points west are going to be expanding women's golf in a way that the golf world needs.
And what does that mean?
That means we're going to go there.
We get to travel there.
We are going there, and we're going to have, along with Nancy Lopez and her Nancy Lopez Golf Adventure team, Live Eco Style, featuring Jean Latham and her travel venture series on the exploration of community-mindedness, eco-travel, and bringing the world to the forefront in women in many ways, along with Nancy and her, taught by her dad, happy golf, play happy philosophy, and ours is travel happy, and live happy. So combined, we're going to take listeners around the world, if they want to go with us, on potentially month-long trips to China, South Korea, Indonesia, Thailand, and go and give clinics and spread the word of golf and play happy philosophy.
And they're experiential trips.
Right.
I mean, that's what I guess I really want to emphasize is, I mean, the golf, okay, I'm not a golfer.
Well, there's fresh meat in the hoof, as they say.
I appreciate golf, but I am a traveler. I want to immerse myself in the culture that I'm in, the community that I'm in. I want to talk to people. I want to eat their food. I want to find out where they go, what they do, and their fun time. Those are the kind of things that I'm really fascinated in. And so golfing, as we know, you can only do that so much a day in and day out. You have to do other things. You have to eat and drink and if you're there, you learn the people, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun trip. Fun trips, I should say.
Well, while we get back to Africa here just for a minute, we're thrilled about Nancy, but this going to Africa, this is going to be quite a trip. We only covered about half of it.
I know. Africa's a big country.
This is sad.
We'll come back. We'll come back.
We went to the Kalahari, the Serengeti, Cape Town, Zimbabwe.
Zambia.
We learned that Madagascar
Botswana,
fell off the island.
Madagascar.
And we started in Lisbon, Portugal.
Who knew?
We covered a few miles on this trip. How many billion people live there?
A little over 1 billion.
We squeezed 1 billion people into a 1-hour show, and they all are happy. With names we can't pronounce and alphabets 350 letters in an alphabet.
I don't think we did too bad, though.
And don't drink the water in Madagascar. Brush your teeth with Coke.
That's
this is the lovely Jean Latham has done an amazing amount of research. And the recap, the Cliff Notes will be available. There will be a test on every Thursday night for those who want to. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye-bye.